The year is 1776. It's the 4th of July. America just signed the Declaration of Independence. A portion of it reads, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness." Why did they do this? Because they wanted to be out from under British rule. We were tired of unfair treatment and unfair taxes. We knew the only way was to declare independence from Britain and become our own nation. What did all this mean for the U.S.? It opened up new markets and new trade relationships. America's victory over Britain also opened new territories for expansion and growth. America became self-reliant with manufacturing and would no longer need supplies from Britain. Announcing our freedom from Britain meant nothing but new expansion and new growth possibilities for America. All men are created equal. This means that every listener of this show is created equal. Everyone has the same ability and the same opportunity to do something great. We all have certain unalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We all have the right to life, and a damn good one. We all have the right to liberty. You know what liberty is? It's freedom. It's not being constrained by anyone or anything. We all have the right to the pursuit of happiness. This right here is what makes America great, the pursuit of happiness. You see, we have freedoms in America that most countries don't have. Yeah, America might have her share of problems, but even with her shortcomings, America is still the greatest country in the world. It's the greatest country for anyone to start their own business and become incredibly wealthy doing so. It's the best country for anyone to decide to make a massive difference on as many lives as possible, starting with their own. There's literally nothing stopping you except you. The whole purpose of this show is to encourage, inspire, and empower you to start your own business. It's time you signed your own personal Declaration of Independence. It's time you mustered up the discipline to get your personal finances in order. It's time you sat down and put your business finances on paper. It's time you started writing your systems and processes. It's time you decided that what your community involvement work was going to be and how you would make it happen every month like clockwork. It's time you wake up and you put in the work every single day. It's time you start evaluating your performance. It's time you start making adjustments, and it's time you start improving. It's time you signed your own Declaration of Independence. It's time you made a commitment to become the best version of yourself. It means life, and not just any life, but the kind of life the actual Declaration of Independence talks about. It means liberty, and it means freedom. It means making a commitment to become self-sufficient and doing so well that you're not bound by the constraints of anyone, including an unfair employer. It means safety, because it's not safe to leave your fate in the hands of an unfair employer or an employer who looks out for their own interests while ignoring yours. That means happiness. As we celebrate our nation's independence, it's time you put in the work to celebrate your own independence. Independence from debt. Independence from being forced to work a job you hate because you don't have a choice because you've got bills to pay. I'm talking about the kind of personal freedom where you get to choose what's best for you. The kind of freedom where you get to surround yourself with the best people. You get to build the best teams. You get to put together a company that does something like no other company does. A company where people are lined up to come work there and customers are lined up to have you take care of them. America is the greatest country on the planet, and it's time you took advantage of this and started the greatest company your community has ever seen. So while you're enjoying some barbecue and some fireworks, remember, it's time to get to work.